amidst hopes that she will spur the body into addressing its towering challenges, including the pandemic-fueled global economic crisis. The World Trade Organization is too important to allow it to be slowed down, paralyzed and moribund, the first woman and first African to ever lead the global trade body said. The 66-year-old Nigerian former finance minister takes the World Trade Organization was left adrift for 7 months following the sudden departure of Brazilian career diplomat Roberto Azevedo last August, a year ahead of schedule. Delegates are expected to agree that the organization's next ministerial conference, which has been scheduled for last year but was postponed due to the pandemic, will be held in Geneva in December. Contrarily to speculations of imminent increase in the price of premium motor spirits petrol, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has ruled out any increment in the ex-depot price of petrol in March 2021. A statement by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Mr. Kenny Obatero, stated it was not contemplating any rise in the price of petrol in March in order not to jeopardize ongoing engagements with organized labor and other stakeholders on an acceptable framework that would not expose the ordinary Nigerian to any hardship. The NNPC also cautioned petroleum products marketers not to engage in arbitrary price increase or hoarding of petrol in order not to create artificial scarcity and unnecessary hardship for Nigerians. Unity, tranquility, and harmony can only be achieved in a peaceful society. Hence the need for people to cohabit peacefully. Ogun State Chairman, Peacekeeping Committee on Farmers' Elders Conflicts, Honorable Kayode Oladele stated this during the flag-off of palliative distribution to the affected people of Farmers' Herdsmen crisis in Igwa and Asha in Yewa North local government area of the state. Yusuf Ganiu has more details.
The Peacekeeping Committee on Farmers' Herdsmen conflict inaugurated by the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, is expected to unravel activities that often led to the farmers' herdsmen crisis in the state. The committee led by its chairman, Honorable Kayode Oladele, was in Egua and Asa in Yewa North local government area to flag off the distribution of palliatives to cushion the effect of the farmers' herdsmen crisis on the affected people in the area.
The entire community of Ketu land, I am expressing my appreciation of this great, very great and concerned step which our governor has taken as palliative measure.
The Peacekeeping Committee further noted that Ogun Western Interior District used to be one of the peaceful areas, adding that everything possible will be done to ensure that the unity and harmony are restored for peaceful coexistence in the country.
Section 14 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, only security and welfare of the people shall be the primary responsibility of government. This is why this committee was set up. This is why the governor is particular about it, because we want to ensure security. We want to ensure that we also provide adequate welfare for the people that are affected.
The subcommittee chairman on palliative and commissioner for budget and planning, Mr. Olaolu Olabito, said the distribution of the palliatives showed that the state government is not leaving any stone unturned, particularly in terms of the welfare of its people. After his visit to Asa community, Honorable Kayode Oladele addressed journalists on the next line of action towards putting a check to the incessant clashes between the farmers and herdsmen.
Everybody is really appalled with what has happened, particularly when you consider the fact that this is an unprovoked attack. But as it were, we are a committee. We don't want to preempt what will be the committee's report. But what we have come to do is to have an on-the-spot assessment of what has really happened. And from what we've seen so far today, a lot had been destroyed. We've seen destruction of properties, houses, cars, motorbikes, and so many things. And people have also complained to us about even their inability to go to their farms. Therefore, that has also increased a lot of the proportion of famine and hunger in the land. And I believe it's one of the reasons why we're here.
The Peacekeeping Committee also emphasized that as well as find a lasting solution for peace to reign. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Away from elders' crisis, the federal government has confirmed that Nigeria will receive the first tranche of the COVID-19 vaccine on Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. This is according to the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa. He said this on Saturday in Abuja, the Nigerian capital. The PTF chairman, who also doubles as the secretary to the government of the Federation, explained that the first shipment of 3,924,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine is coming from COVAX, a World Health Organization-backed initiative set up to procure and ensure equitable distribution of vaccine for free among countries across the globe.
The vaccines are coming, and they are coming very quickly, bearing any change in the delivery plan that has been released to us by UNICEF. Our vaccines are supposed to, like I said, bearing any change, because the logistical arrangements and other things are in the hands of the UNICEF. We believe that our vaccines should depart India on the 1st of March 2021 at 10:30 p.m. in the night and arrive Abuja on the 2nd of March 2021 at about 11:10 a.m. in the morning.
Earlier in the month, the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ehanire, has confirmed that Nigeria will be getting the COVAX vaccine in March and explained that the federal government is targeting to vaccinate 70% of the population. Meanwhile, the National Primary Health Care Development Agency and United Nations Children's Fund said the vaccination of Nigerians against COVID-19 will start with frontline healthcare workers. The executive director of the agency, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, and UNICEF country representative in Nigeria, Peter Elkins, who stated this in a joint statement, said Nigeria had planned to vaccinate at least 70% of eligible Nigerians aged 18 years and above in 4 phases within 2 years. The Primary Health Care Agency assured Nigerians that Nigeria had facilities to store the vaccine. Nigeria is scheduled to take delivery of 3.9 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine on Tuesday. According to the agency and UNICEF, the delivery will mark the first arrival in Africa. The representative of World Health Organization in Nigeria, Dr. Walter Casadilombo, said vaccines are a critical tool in the battle against COVID-19. In the meantime, Nigerians must continue to take steps to contain the virus, as the vaccination program will take at least a year before it is fully effective. The delivery of the AstraZeneca vaccine is part of an overall 16 million doses planned to be delivered to Nigeria in batches by the COVAX facility as part of an unprecedented global effort to ensure equitable access to COVID-19 vaccine. But the former president of National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Abdurrauf Adeniji, has described the 3.9 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine as grossly inadequate. The Lagos State government has further extended the work-from-home directives to civil servants on salary grade 12 and below. A statement issued by the head of service, Mr. Hakeem Muri Okunla, said that this is in a bid to further stem the spread of COVID-19 within the public service and other stakeholders. He expressed the government's delight that measures put in place to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the state has resulted in a steady decline in the number of recorded cases in the preceding weeks. Mr. Muri Okunla maintained that in order to sustain the success so far recorded, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has revealed the directives to all public servants on salary grade level 12 and below for 4 weeks, with effect from Monday 1st to Friday 26th March 2021. The head of service said the directive does not preclude any of the exempted grade levels from reporting for duty whenever the accounting officers deemed it necessary. And on the foreign scene, Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo becomes the world's first recipient of a coronavirus vaccine from COVAX, a global scheme to procure and distribute inoculations for free for poorer countries. Richer countries have sought ahead with inoculating their population, but many poorer countries are still awaiting their first vaccine doses. The First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, also received a shot 1 day before the rest of the 600,000 doses are deployed across the country. Speaking after receiving the vaccine in a live broadcast, the 76-year-old president said it was important that he set the example that the vaccine is safe. Some 145 participating economic are said to receive 337.2 million doses by mid-year, enough to vaccinate a little over 3% of their combined population. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has put together plans to operate 16 trips daily along the Lagos-Ibadan rail when it is fully operational. Managing Director of the corporation, Fidiet Ohira, said there is a plan to increase current daily frequency from 1 trip to 2. He said the train will be able to stop at Lagos, Agege, Abeokuta, and Ibadan, while people can then buy tickets at Agege. He added that the corporation would introduce one from Lagos in the morning, while another one would leave Lagos in the evening, with additional stoppage stations. Works had begun on e-ticketing for Lagos-Ibadan and should be expected in 6 months. He also noted that the rail service to ports had resumed, noting that 13 overhead bridges will be built within Lagos alone. It has become imperative for Nigerians to always imbibe the spirit of oneness and tolerance in optimizing the potentials of diverse ethnicity for national integration. This was the submission of respondents who spoke with our reporter, Adebola Oshomoji, on the strategic ways of promoting and maintaining peace and unity in the country. Her reports.
Nigeria is a multi-ethnic and culturally diverse society that has witnessed conflict. Research has shown that African cultures are under threat, as these cultures are in fact being pushed beyond limit of tolerance in manners that suggest danger.
And that is what the government is doing now, by setting up a peacekeeping committee. That peacekeeping committee will enhance engagement between parties, so that if a party has been offended, then they will take the matter to the other party, and the two of them can sit together and profile a solution.
We find ourselves in a country where we have over 250 ethnic groups in the federation, and indeed it's an issue of concern that has both negative and positive, but by the virtue of quality leadership we can optimize the positive aspects. This can be done by looking into the comparative and absolute advantage where the all ethnics can bring on board to develop our great country, Nigeria.
Respondents are of the opinion that the pathways to end insecurity and other social vices is for Nigerian citizens to embrace the spirit of oneness and tolerance.
We need what we call social rebate, generally. So we need to begin to reason as responsible citizens who equally see ourselves as stakeholders.
We just have to coexist. We have to cohabit. There's no how we send somebody. Our constitution does not say that a set of people cannot live in a particular area. Work out a modality for us coexisting in peace, in harmony.
They also submitted that cultures hold the key to growth, integration, identity, and development.
Then, when you now look at the culture, there is a program introduced by former military head of state, General Yakub Gowon, National Youth Service Corps, for unity and integration, well conceived, well packaged, initially well implemented. At a point, due to Nigerian factor, insecurity of lives and property, we begin to implement it.
There is thus a strong interrelationship among culture, growth, progress, development, and even natural integration. Adebola Oshomoji, OGTV News.
Globalization can help solve fundamental problems with the global economy, such as poverty and unemployment. This was the submission of some Nigerians who spoke with our reporter Yusuf Ganiu on the challenges of globalization of Nigerian industrial sector. His reports.
Globalization is driven by the convergence of political, cultural, and economic systems that ultimately promote and often necessitate increased interaction and dependence amongst others. Nigeria is undoubtedly facing a number of challenges that have to do with the consolidation of the gains of globalization.
The globalization issue gives a lot of advantage. So the challenge that we are having, that you could be having as an indigenous producer or entrepreneur, will likely have to do with you having to scale up your quality and then to meet up with the demand or the international standard.
According to respondents, lack of adequate and proper implementation of policies is one of the major challenges causing setback to the industrial sector in the country.
Government will take advantage of the technology that has come up in recent, and particularly in this century that we have entered. This century is now about 21 years old, but we have not taken advantage of it. We have not taken advantage of it. We expect that since we had technological schools, technology universities, so many things, the country should direct its efforts towards that. These machineries we are importing from abroad to move our industries. Most of them can be fabricated here in Nigeria.
They said the rapid pace of globalization in the early 24th century is driven primarily by technology and communications.
It is a welcome development. It is something that we must try to work around our own shortcomings, our own inhibitions, our own challenges, which are basic things, our own infrastructure, our own environment, so that the business will be conducive for us to compete with our other counterparts in another clime.
It was emphasized that globalization also gives poorer countries an opportunity for economic development through exposure to foreign capital and technology, resulting in conditions that foster an improved standards of living for the citizens of the nation. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump says he has no plan to launch a new political party, telling a conservative conference in Florida that it will split the Republican vote. In his first speech since Democrat Joe Biden became president, he also hinted that he might run for office again in 2024. Mr. Trump strongly criticized his successor, saying U.S. policy had gone from American first to American last. The speech comes weeks after Mr. Trump was acquitted in an impeachment trial. The former president remained banned from social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter, over his response to January deadly riots at the U.S. Capitol. Myanmar's Aung San Suu Kyi has been seen for the first time since she was detained in a military coup after she appeared in court via video link. The ousted leader appeared to be in good health and asked to see our legal team. 2 new charges were announced against Ms. Suu Kyi, who was arrested after the February 1st coup. Meanwhile, protesters took to the streets again, despite Sunday seeing the deadliest day yet with 18 killed. The deaths came as the military and police ramped up their response to demonstrations across the Southeast Asian nation over the weekend, firing into the crowds. In the world of sports, police have raided the office of Barcelona on Monday, carrying out several arrests just 6 days ahead of the club's presidential election. One of those arrested was former club president Josep Maria Bartomeu, who resigned in October along with CEO Oscar Grove and the club head of legal service. But the police refused to confirm names, saying only arrests are taking place, adding that the operation was being run by officers from the financial crime units. Jamaica's Prince superstar Johan Bake has revealed his anti-corona vaccine news after making shock comments that he would rather miss the Tokyo 2020 Olympics than get the jab. Blake, who won silver 100 meter at London 2012 and gold in the 100 meter relay in 2012 and Rio 2016, made the comment after organizers in Japan unveiled their plan to ensure athlete security with beefed up health protocols. But the 31-year-old athlete remained unconvinced and said his mind still stays strong. Organizers have said that as it stands, athletes would need to be vaccinated to compete in Tokyo, but non-compliance with the strict safety protocols will see them ejected from the competition. Among the rules put in place are banned on singing, hugging, and shaking hands. Athletes must also avoid physical contact in the Olympic Village. Athletes would be tested for COVID-19 every 4 days. Competitors and officials can only leave their accommodation to go to official venues, and they cannot use public transports. To round off the 2 p.m. news, you learn more from failure than from success. Don't forget that you can also watch us live on this platform devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng.